currently trying to platinum over 200 games to justify viewers of the channel. Now, if I can't do all of these before the channel hits 1.3 million subscribers, then I have to platinum Diablo 2, the longest platinum trophy in existence. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Now, for today's video, I chose an absolute culture icon of a video game, Among Us. I don't know about you guys, but playing this back in like 2020, 2021 was absolutely insane. I deadass played this in my high school free period with one of my cool teachers and the boys, so yeah, I got some pretty fond memories of Among Us. But in today's video, I got every single trophy, including the platinum trophy, and it was honestly hilarious. Shout out to the boys from my Discord server that joined up multiple times and both helped me get some trophies, but also just played for hours on end. I truly do appreciate it. But back to the trophies of Among Us. The game contains 25 total with the platinum trophy. It took me just 14 hours to finish. There is 3 total stages, and yeah, let's dive into it, baby. So the way I'm going to go about formatting this video is in a bit of a roller coaster fashion. I started recording this over a week ago and I didn't use a face cam for about half of my grinding, but if you want to skip to when I did start using a face cam and playing with a bunch of fans with our Discord audio included, you know, the true Among Us gameplay experience, then I'll just throw that up on screen. But before that, I did get 16 trophies during the first recording I did with the boys, so, you know, a pretty large portion of the trophies did come by just playing the game. These span across all 3 stages of the trophy guide because, to be honest, most of them are very, very natural and they all kind of intertwine in a way. The only hard trophies of this game are 2 of them, that being the 500 task completion trophy and then the 150 kills trophy, both of which actually do take quite a bit of grinding and a lot of time to do. But starting off, I'll try to burn through these trophies that I did off camera real fast. My first of the day was simply from getting imposter and getting my first kill. It was absolutely scuffed, but rest in peace to Light. I also did that right when some other dudes strolled by, and yes, I am a pretty goated imposter, as you can tell. After that, I then just called a sabotage, being O2, the classic one, and I also fixed it myself to try and blend in a little bit. Turns out that also was a trophy called Crewposter from fixing a sabotage that you call yourself. Anyways, moving on, in that same round, I ended up bad and I killed in front of somebody, so everybody voted me out. Like literally everybody. It was crazy work. But in the following round, back at it as a crewmate, I did end up doing my 10th task total for a trophy called Intern. And I got it right after I did Asteroids, a very, very easy task thankfully, so here's that trophy pop. Now again, in that same round, I'm not sure if the boys just locked in or what, but everybody was doing their tasks like good little crewmates, and the imposters they just completely sucked. So they failed to kill us all, and I honestly can't recall if we voted out any of them, or we just skipped every time because they were just doing such a poor job. But I ended up getting a double trophy pop, first called Sherlock from winning a game as a crewmate with the votes being only for imposter, and then a well-oiled machine from winning a game by completing all of the tasks, again as the crew. So shout out to the boys for playing the game like absolute gods, and yeah, here are those trophies popping. A bit later, I was still a crewmate. It turns out in a lobby of 15, getting imposter is actually quite hard, but I finally nailed the card swipe task, which is one of the worst in the game on controller. It takes an honest to God skill curve to do, but there also is a trophy related to it called Impossible Task for completing the card swipe task on your first try. And I did that right here, getting trophy pop. Low-key, pretty lucky, not gonna lie. Now the next trophy I got, I'm honestly pretty confused as to what it is, and I must just Suck at this game because I'm just now getting it, but I got the Survivor trophy from simply winning as a crewmate and staying alive. Your boy was getting murked, I guess, but yeah, it's very self-explanatory. Don't get voted out, don't get killed, and just win as a crewmate. A little bit later on, I was in the Imposter once more, and I managed to get another trophy as the Imposter. One of the 3 kill trophies, if that, from simply getting 5 total kills. So here's that trophy pop, pretty simple. About 20 minutes later, I also managed to get my 3rd win on the Skeld map, which is the most iconic Among Us map, obviously. There's 4 map trophies, by the way, including Skeld, obviously, Mira, Polis, and finally the airship. But once I simply won 3 on Skeld, the trophy popped. Now about 30 more minutes passed and we ended up swapping maps to play Mira because I was trying to get those win trophies at this point. And we just absolutely locked in as imposters, killing everyone and not getting voted out at all, which popped me 2 trophies, being Slasher from winning as imposter by killing all of the crew, and then Never Suspect a Thing from winning with 2 imposters alive at the end of the game. So very simple, just don't mess up, get them kills, and yeah, here's both those trophies popping. Multiple rounds later, I also finally nailed out the 3rd win on Mira for another trophy pop, and here's that trophy pop. Also, I think Mira is the 2nd best map in the game. The other 2 are, honestly, they're pretty bad. Skeld is obviously the GOAT.
Oh my god!
But my next 2 trophies are both farm trophies. First called Manager from completing 100 total tasks, only 1/5 of the way there. Oh, how I hate doing tasks in this game. After doing
The skydiving plane was 13,000 feet in the air when suddenly the engine caught on fire. I scrambled up off the floor, my chute dragging behind me in a tangle, and the GoPro on my forehead was still streaming. I looked down at my phone where I had my mom on FaceTime. My hands were trembling because this jump was to raise $40,000 for her cancer treatment. When you jump, keep your eyes on the handle, Eli. You never pull what you can't see. My mom had 800 jumps before the cancer grounded her, and her voice came through the speakers steadier than anyone on that burning plane. I love you, son. I smiled at her and pretended like everything was fine. I'll be jumping soon. Bye, Mom. See you on the other side. The floor tilted as the last jumpers bailed out the door, and the instructor grabbed my shoulder, screaming over the engine. Your parachute is wrecked. The second you're out, rip it off before you open the emergency chute, or it'll strangle you. You get one shot to land safely. You can't afford to screw this up. The plane jolted sideways, and I knew I had to make a decision. I put my toes right by the door and gripped the metal bar with my eyes clenched tight. 3, 2, 1. I jumped, and the sky flipped over me, and I yanked the release and felt my ruined chute rip free. I reached my right hand back to pull the emergency chute handle, but I couldn't. The fall was so powerful that I couldn't move. There was only 13,000 feet between me and the ground, and I had to act fast, otherwise I'd end up as minced meat on the sidewalk. I grabbed blind for the handle and caught nothing but my own suit, spinning, and past the panic I heard her, calmer than the wind. Eyes on the handle, Eli. I forced my chin down, found the silver handle against my ribs, and pulled. The backup parachute cracked open and yanked me upright, and I slammed down into a farm field hard enough to snap my ankle. I took off the GoPro and spoke directly to it. I'm here, Mom. I'm okay. When I limped into her room the next day, she pulled me down by the collar, pressed her forehead to mine, and whispered, "You jumped." She had saved my life from a chemo chair while I was falling out of the sky trying to save hers. The skydiving plane was
Honey, where are you? I'm at home. Are you sure? Yes. Tell our son to say hi. Fine.
Hi, Mommy.
Is that good enough for you? Yes. Love you. Hey, where are you? I'm at home. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Let me hear my son say hi again.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, son. Okay, love you. Bye. Hey, son, where's your father?
I don't know, but he asked me if he could record me saying hi, Mommy.
Oh, great heaven! This is the pony skin. But did you know that the pony skin... Actually, there is no catch. I'm feeling lazy today. This is the pony skin. But did you know that the pony skin... Actually, there is no catch. I'm feeling lazy today. This...
Don't break somebody's heart. They only have one of those. Break their bones! They have 206 of those bad boys! Don't break somebody's heart. They only have one of those. Break their bones! They have two...
He painted the woman of his dreams, wishing she would become real. And when he showed it in a gallery, he saw a woman in the crowd that looked just like her. But she left before the artist could speak to her. So he found her on Facebook and invited her to dinner. During the date, he told her he loved her, then suddenly proposed. And even though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman Though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman up. Though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman up. Though they didn't know each other, she said yes. He painted the woman up.
I knocked out the smallest, weakest kid in school while I was
Why?
bench pressing. He cracked my ribs with a 5-pound.
What are y'all? Okay, that is just that. What are we talking about? Today we're gonna be checking out a channel called His Story.
My twin brother Chris and I were 9 when we learned Morse code.
Okay. That's kind of lit.
We tapped messages under the dinner table when Mom told us to stop talking and tapped through the wall between our bedrooms every night.
That's
when Chris
hard.
got into a car accident and the doctor said he...
Slow down, bro. We just got here. Relax. Okay, let me give time to breathe. Okay. All right.
Never wake up. I pulled up a chair
Oh,
next
that
to his bed,
stinks,
took his
bro.
hand, and
You gonna
tapped.
start
"Are
Morse
you there?"
coding?
Nothing. But I came back the next afternoon and tapped again. Before I left, I always said the same thing. "See you tomorrow, Chris." A week later, Chris's fingers twitched against mine, and I almost
Ooh.
fell out of my chair.
His fingers started streaming. That was bad. I'm gonna go put myself in timeout for the rest of the story. I'm sorry.
I grabbed a nurse and she barely looked up. They're reflexes. It doesn't mean anything. I bought a notebook the next day and started writing down every single one. 4 months in, Mom watched me scribbling and said, "How long are you gonna keep doing this?" Until he taps
Now he really typing in Morse code while he's in the. Oh, that's crazy.
back. He's not gonna tap back.
Oh, never mind. He hasn't tapped back yet. I thought he did. I'm gonna go back to my corner.
You're talking to a corpse. Dad lasted a few...
Aren't you the mom? Did the mom just say you're talking to a corpse? You don't believe it? Wow, that's crazy. I go back to my corner now.
more months before he pulled me into the hallway. "We need to talk about donating your brother's organs. His fingers move every time I hold his hand, Dad. The nurses said those are reflexes. Stop getting your hopes up, son. I don't..."
Hey, nurses! I'm gonna go back to my corner.
Don't care what the nurses say. You're not donating my brother's
Yeah, F those nurses!
organs. But a week later, my parents called to have Chris transferred to a long-term facility to die.
F my parents too!
And scheduled a meeting to sign the papers. The afternoon before the meeting, I tapped into his palm like always, but this time, something tapped back. Short, short, short. Long, long, long.
What is bro dreaming about? What does he mean short, short, long? What is he dreaming about? He dreaming about peeing? I'm going back to my corner, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Short, short, short. SOS. I grabbed his hand.
Okay, I get it now. I get it. Okay.
Chris, if that's you, squeeze once. He squeezed so hard my
Oh, okay! I'm out of timeout now.
knuckles cracked. I stormed into the meeting room and told them my brother just responded to me. The caseworker said, "This is very common with families who aren't ready to let go."
Hey,
My
hey, shut your... Uh-oh. Ooh, he about pissed me off.
parents nodded. I grabbed the transfer papers off the table.
Rip that
You're
thing.
not signing anything until you come see for yourself. I walked them to Chris's bed and grabbed his hand. Ask him anything. The caseworker asked what year it was. Chris squeezed out the answer. Count to 5. 5 perfect squeezes.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
mother's name. Tapped out
Yeah.
letter by letter.
Yeah.
By the 10th question, she said, "He's still alive."
Oh, now you want to cry! You wanted to kill him! Now we're killing you instead since you want to donate organs so badly! How about we donate yours? Huh? Alright, she's pissing me off. All of a sudden she cares now, like...
We can't move him. Weeks later, I asked Chris what kept him fighting when everyone gave up.
I'm assuming he's gonna say Dragon Ball Z, maybe Beyblade, Bakugan, Max and Ruby, Cars. He hasn't seen the ending of One Piece yet. He wants to see that. There's like a couple of manga that hasn't been animated yet. He wants to see like Omnipotent Reader Viewpoint, you know, animated. There's probably a couple other things he wants to see animated. He wants to read The Greatest Estate Developer, you know, things like that probably.
Heard Mom call me a corpse. Her dad...
That's crazy. Imagine you there and just hearing your parents call you a corpse. That's crazy.
I'd say donate my organs. Heard all of them leave, except you. I asked why. I wanted to see you too.
Why your eyelashes so good? Who did bro's eyelashes while he's been laying here? You gonna tell me he don't got mascara on? Yeah, that's cap. You gonna tell me they don't got mascara on? Yeah, alright.
Every time we heard a knock on the front door, my dad would yell, "Stealth mode," and we had 30 seconds to kill every light in the house. My brother and I would race through the room.
What is this,
flipping
the
switches,
apocalypse?
making cords, shutting off the TV mid-show.
Did I just see bro go through a dead? Hold on. Look at bro. Look at where what the? Okay. All right, just warp into it, I guess.
Cutting off the TV mid-show while some guy outside banged on the front door yelling, "I know you're in there, buddy." Dad timed us. Once everything was dark, no talking, no
How
moving,
often did
no
this
looking
happen
out the
for this-
windows.
for y'all to
We'd
do
sit
this?
there until Dad did his owl hoot, which meant
Dad, if you don't just tell me what do you mean owl hoot? At least bark, ruff ruff, ruff ruff, like do owl hoot, right.
all clear. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes almost an hour. Afterwards, he'd high-five us and go, "Real ninjas couldn't do better." He told
Oh, like did he censor himself? Was he trying to say something else? Oh, bro, what?
the stealth mode was top secret. Never tell your teachers, your friends, nobody. Other people wouldn't understand. For years,
What?
I believed him. When I was 8, I asked Dad why we had to hide
I'm gonna ask you why you got pink eye.
so much. He said some annoying guy kept bothering our family, and stealth mode was how we dealt with him.
Why
I
don't you
felt
just
proud
kill
we
him?
had a secret skill that
I don't know why that was my response.
could outsmart bad guys. By the time I was 10, I heard the voice outside yell something about a bet and $20. I tugged Dad's sleeve and whispered, "Is the bad guy trying to steal our money?" Dad shushed me so hard I flinched. When I was 12, I broke the window rule, peeked through the blinds, and saw a completely normal guy in a polo shirt standing on the porch rubbing his forehead. He didn't look like a criminal. He looked like someone's tired
I'm
uncle.
so
At 13,
confused.
I told Dad I was just going to open the door and tell the guy to leave us alone. The color left his face. You absolutely cannot do that.
I
That
swear
was the
this is
first
a
time stealth
stupid
mode
plot
didn't feel
twist,
like a
bro.
game. By 15 or 16, it barely
I'm smacking you.
happened anymore. But when it did, Dad would peek through the blinds looking guilty. Mom just shook her head from the couch and muttered something under her breath. I was 17 and
What
home
is-
alone when
give
I heard
me-
it. I know you're
bro.
in there. It's been 12 years, man. I opened the front door. The guy nearly fell backwards. Normal looking dude, middle-aged, holding a crumpled piece
Whack.
of paper. "Oh, hi. Is your dad home? I'm his old college roommate." He held up the paper. "Your old man bet me $20 Michael Jordan wouldn't win his 6th ring. That was 1998.
I don't know what's worse. Showing up for 12 years straight for $20 or not paying the man his $20. You had your kids go in ninja mode for $20.
I've been knocking on this door ever since. He handed me the IOU, both their signatures, right there at the bottom. I left it on the kitchen table. Mom saw it first and laughed so hard she had to hold the counter. Dad picked it up, read it, put it back down, and the first thing out of his mouth was, "So now he knows someone's home." Then he turned off the kitchen light and got under the table. We were never in danger. My dad just lost a bet because of the greatest of all time.
Then why is LeBron here?
The flight attendant slipped me a napkin that said, "The pilot isn't who he says he is. Meet me in the back to talk."
Who am I? Why do you want to meet me in the back? I'm a civilian. What do you mean me for? What am I supposed to do? If you want to meet me in the back because you want to do so, just let me know. Hey, meet me in the back. Ow! I just got a mess. Meet me in the back.
I knew she chose to tell me because of the military dog tags around.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Cause I was wondering why she would tell me. You know what I'm saying? I thought she just wanted a little kiss or something. You know what I mean?
I folded the napkin and slid it into my pocket, and that's when the captain's voice came over the intercom.
Oh yeah, we're crash landing.
Good morning, folks. This is Captain Hopkins, expecting smooth skies to Chicago, but something was wrong. I could feel it in my bones. I waited 2 minutes and casually walked
What do you
back.
mean you felt something was wrong? She sent you a message. She showed you a message saying he's not who he seems to be. Talking about I feel something wrong. Yeah, we were told. Someone told you. Right, no, you're right.
Expect. The flight attendant was there with a man holding up a police badge. The man whispered, "I'm glad you're here. I'm an undercover cop." I knew something was wrong straight away. The flight attendant whispered, "I've flown with Captain Hopkins for 6 years. I don't exactly know what's wrong, but I know that's not Hopkins, and we're flying the wrong way."
I've been following with Mr. Hopkins for 6 years, but I'm not sure what's wrong. That's not him. Lady, I need details. Like, what do you... Right.
She showed me the flight map of where we were heading. The plane is heading toward an abandoned airport. I leaned over the map.
What?
My body was pumping.
Like,
with
what do you
adrenaline
expect
because
me
it
to
was
do?
The perfect place to crash a plane. There's an empty space above the pilot.
There's such thing as a perfect place to crash? Yeah, the ocean. What do you mean the perfect place? There's place crashing rankings? What's right?
I can climb up and listen to what the pilot and co-pilot are planning through the ceiling. Take my number. If you can tell there's
Climb up
something
and
fishy
hear
going
them
on,
through the
text me one
ceiling?
word
What?
now. That's the signal to move. And to distract everyone while I climbed above the
They couldn't tell like no actual officer. Like I get they don't have service, but they don't have like no form of connection to anybody else. Right.
The flight attendant made an announcement on the speakers to tell everyone to keep their seatbelts on. Through the cracks, I could hear two men in the pilot's room talking. 15 years ago today, our brother died because of Captain Hopkins. Now we get to crash his plane with him tied up on it while we impersonate him. I texted the undercover cop.
And he just said that. He just said that. He just said to the person he's planning with, he just said their whole plan and the reasoning why they did it. Like he doesn't know. Nah, bro. Nah, that makes sense, bro.
Now, the cart slammed into the pilot's room door, and the cop kicked it open. I dropped through the ceiling and tackled the fake pilot out of his seat. The cop pinned the co-pilot to the floor. The flight attendant grabbed the radio. Mayday, our pilot is gone. We need help landing right now.
Dog, what? Wait, what?
She looked at me. Find Hopkins, the actual pilot. He has to be on this plane somewhere. I sprinted to the back of the plane, checking every door. I yanked open the closet next to the bathrooms, and Captain Hopkins was...
You're telling me no one, the flight attendant didn't check a closet in the plane? The flight attendant didn't check the closet, right?
With his hands tied and tape across his mouth.
No, that makes sense.
I ripped the tape off. Get me to the controls. He ran to the front and dropped into the pilot's chair. He grabbed the wheel. Tower, this is the real Captain Hopkins. I'm landing this plane. When we finally landed, the cops dragged the brothers off in handcuffs. The flight attendant came up to me in the aisle. I pulled the napkin out of my pocket and held it up. You saved 200 lives with this. She smiled and took it back.
Right, indubitably, as some would say.
My daughter came home crying with an F because her teacher doesn't know what color blood is. The first time I realized something was wrong, Riley came home from school holding out her arms. Look, Dad, you can see the blue blood in my veins right here. She traced the blue lines under her skin.
It's not blue, twin. You've seen people like accidentally cut they finger or something. You've seen your blood, bro. You know it's not blue. Come on, lock in.
I put down my coffee and looked at her. Actually, sweetheart, that's not true. Blood is always red because of hemoglobin. It's just darker red in your veins. Her face scrunched up. But Mrs. Miller showed us a whole PowerPoint about it. She even had diagrams from a science book. The next morning, I packed my work scrubs in my bag. I'm an ER nurse at...
And let me guess, this person's gonna come out with blue blood, and then after they come out with blue blood, they're gonna turn to the avatar, pull up, and then, smack your daughter like
Mercy General, and I was working the afternoon shift anyway. I sent Mrs. Miller an email asking if I could do a quick presentation about blood for career day that afternoon. She loved the idea. When I arrived, Mrs. Miller introduced me as Riley's dad, who works at the hospital. 20 28 kids stared up at me from their desks. I heard you guys learned that blood is blue inside your body, I said. The entire class nodded enthusiastically. Mrs. Miller beamed from her desk in the corner. I pulled out a blood collection tube from my pocket and held it up. This is what we use to draw blood at the hospital. Notice something. The tube creates a vacuum. No oxygen inside at all. I paused.
What age students are you talking to right now? Like
when we draw blood with these, it never touches oxygen until we pop the cap off. I showed them photos on my phone of sealed blood tubes. See? Still red. Mrs. Miller's smile started fading. She shifted in her chair and cleared her throat.
You're telling me she's able to teach that the blood can be is blue? You're telling me that she's legally able to teach that? You're telling me Miss Miller has a teaching job teaching kids that blood is blue and no one has said a thing about it? Is that what you're trying to convince me? And then here comes the British. Well, obviously in American schools, y'all don't get taught anything. Win a award. Like, bro, get your tea bag. Leave us alone, bro.
A boy raised his hand and pointed to their science textbook, but our textbook says it's blue. I picked up the book and checked the publication date, 1998. Medicine updates pretty fast. We used to think lots of things that turned out to be wrong. Mrs. Miller suddenly stood up from her desk, her hands gripping the edge. Well, thank you for that interesting presentation.
Why are you still able to teach with a book from 98, dog? What?
Mr. Johnson, but we need to move on to math now. I nodded and started packing when a girl in the back raised her hand.
What do you gotta say, bro?
Our textbook is wrong? The class erupted in whispers. Mrs. Miller's jaw clenched and her voice got tight. The curriculum says, actually, I interrupted, pulling up the state science standards on my phone. I walked over.
Well, actually, like, bro, every single one of y'all are annoying. Every single one of y'all, from top to bottom.
And turned my phone toward her. The current curriculum specifically mentions this myth as something to correct.
So, since when are you a teacher now,
she stared
too?
At the screen, and her eyes narrowed. Her mouth pressed into a
How did the teacher not know the current curriculum, right?
And her nostrils flared. Can I speak with you in the hallway? The kids watched as we walked out, and the door closed behind us. Do you have any idea how hard it is when parents undermine my authority? Her face was red, and her voice was sharp.
What are you
now
talking
question
about?
Everything I say. I kept my voice calm. Isn't that exactly what we want them to do? Question things and learn critical thinking? She crossed her arms tightly. I've been teaching for 22 years. I'm not changing my whole curriculum because some nurse thinks he knows better than our textbooks. The next day, I found out Mrs. Miller gave the class a pop quiz. Riley came home crying, her face red and puffy. Her hands were shaking as she handed me a paper with a big red F on it. I took a deep breath and felt my jaw tighten as I looked at the question. What color is blood inside the body? Riley had written red, and Mrs. Miller had marked it wrong.
Top 10 things that's never happened.
I requested a meeting with Principal Davis and brought printouts of medical textbooks, the state science standards, and Riley's quiz.
Absolutely no reason for you to do all that, bro. You can just pull up and be like, hey, your teacher tweaking. I'm a doctor. Yo, you know what I'm saying?
The principal called in Mrs. Miller and asked her directly, is blood blue inside the body? After a long pause, Mrs. Miller said, it's what the children understand better. I leaned forward in my chair.
What does
my daughter
that
is
mean?
crying every morning before school because she's afraid of getting F's for writing down the truth. The next day, the school replaced their science books. Now, whenever Riley learns something new at school, she comes home and asks me, Dad, is this actually true, or is it just a Mrs. Miller truth?
I feel bad for all the Miss Millers who just got a bad rep for the story. Like, this did not happen, bro. Yo, Miss Miller's got a horrible rep now. Yo, all the Millers out there, man, just know we don't think you dumb, bro. We don't think you stupid, man.
In the middle of a test, the sprinklers started spraying. Everyone
I would be so
instantly
pissed
screamed.
off.
But I realized it wasn't
Now we gotta
water
retest.
spraying on us.
What?
Someone yelled, what is this? What is on us?
They're
We all tried
peeing on
to
you!
stand up and run, but everyone was slipping. The alarm blared, and the principal yelled on the speaker. No, needs to get out of the building immediately. There is an active threat inside. But before we could get out, our teacher stepped in the way. He said, wait, I think I just saw the threat out there, but the hall was empty. There's nobody out there. Let us out.
The
I
teacher's
tried
the
to grab
threat.
the handle, but he slapped
The
my
teacher's
hand.
the threat.
No, nobody's leaving. Everyone was coughing, and that's when I realized
What is
I
it?
liked the smell. Oh my God, it was gasoline.
I like this smell. Oh, petrol? Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, I like the smell. Wait, what?
Half the class rushed over to the windows, but we couldn't just jump out because we were on the 3rd floor.
Hey, y'all puss. I would've went head first out that mug. Ain't no one worried about no 3-star. You know what I mean?
Stacy yelled, please, let us out. We have to make a run for it. But he just stood there. He just said, 30 more seconds. Everyone was confused.
Are y'all just gonna
We
burn
need
a
to
lot?
go.
Bro,
We'll die from the
if y'all don't press it, it's 30 of y'all, one of him. Eat his flesh! He can't stop you!
Fumes, but he just smiled. 20. What if a fire starts? We'll all burn. 10 seconds. A girl yelled, "Ah, it's in my eyes. I can't see." It was complete chaos until our teacher reached for the lock. He turned it. The door clicked open and someone walked in. "Thanks for letting me in, Dad." Stacy yelled, "Dad, you have a son." They both turned around, locking eyes straight onto me. We all started backing up, and when I saw the guy's face, my heart sank.
What is
I
happening?
recognized him. He pointed straight at me and said, You put me in jail for 5 years. Now it's finally time to get revenge." I couldn't believe my eyes.
What did you do?
This was the same guy I had called the police on 5 years ago. He had
Okay.
tried to rob my grandma at gunpoint and had been waiting to get me back. We watched him pull something out of his pocket and hold it up, and we saw it was a big...
Mind you, they're just standing there and taking it. They could have been jumped at a door. Can't be an American school. I refuse to believe this is American school. Gasoline pouring from the ceiling. Teacher saying stop and everyone in the class listens. Really? This is not an American school. I don't know what country this is, but it's not American.
lighter. Everyone started panicking because one tiny flame and we'd all immediately burn. I yelled, "No, please, you'll kill us all." He just smiled. He started flicking and we all yelled, "Stop, please, we'll all die."
Mind you, they all could just run out the door right now.
He flicked over and over, and I knew I had to stop him before it worked. "Please, my grandma was all I had. I didn't mean to make you suffer."
Just don't. And there's nobody in the building who's helping. How did they put gasoline in the water sprinklers? Right.
And when I said that, I saw our teacher look at me, but he looked upset. We were all crying, and I saw him really looking at his son like he didn't know who he was. Flick, flick.
What? Okay. Oh no, he's having retrospect now. He's thinking about his actions now.
Then finally, it caught a flame. He held it up, but I saw our teacher pick up the fire extinguisher from the wall. I knew there was no way that tiny thing would save us from the fire. But his son said, "This is for what you did." For
What's he
putting
gonna
me
do?
in
Beat
prison."
his son in the back of the head with it?
But right before he dropped the lighter, our teacher raised the fire extinguisher, and in one moment, he slammed it on his son's head hard. His son instantly fell over, and our teacher stood there panting. He was crying. "I'm so sorry. I failed all of you." My son and I.
Like, you're a monster too. You let it happen.
He looked at me one more time with tears in his eyes as they took him out.
One more story, bro. I got one more story.
I knocked out the smallest, weakest kid in school. While I was
Why?
bench pressing, he cracked my ribs with a 5.
What are y'all? Okay, that is just that. What are we talking about? What are these stories? What type of situations are you getting yourself in? What do you mean he cracked your? Yo, okay.
Dumbbell and smiled. That was Chester. He was 4'11", 85 pounds, and was the worst bully I ever met. His two brothers were 6'6", 300 pounds of pure muscle.
Ain't no one 300 pounds of pure muscle in school, bro. Like, what are you,
Nobody
what are
touched
you
Chester
talking about?
because they were terrified of his big brothers. I told the teacher, but he never believed that Chester had the strength
Man.
to actually hurt any.
Chester gonna get his brother shot.
I walked around with 2 cracked ribs for 3 months and couldn't laugh without wincing. A week later, my history teacher stepped
Couldn't laugh without whimpering.
out. Chester whispered into my ear, "Have you ever felt a tiger's claw?" Then he stabbed a pencil an inch deep into my back. I bled out onto the floor and everyone gasped. I needed 7 stitches. My teacher asked the class if anyone saw it. Every single student looked away.
Those kids don't have that much motion! Once again, we're not in America. Can't be. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of bullying in a Korean manga. This is some lookism type mess. Just any Korean manga that takes place in high school that has any form of action, that's what this is.
Chester smiled again. He was loving this power. PE baseball. Chester slammed a metal bat across my knee. I limped for a month.
Okay, nah, you're just a punk. I'm not gonna lie. You let Chester crack your ribs. You let him stab you in the neck and hit your knee. You not doing nothing. You're just a punk. At this point, you deserve it. You let yourself get cracked by Chester, bruh. Like,
When it rains, I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anyone.
you
I
didn't
knew
tell
I had
anybody?
to
Yeah.
handle this myself. So I started
Then do
kickboxing.
something about it,
5 days a week for
kickboxing.
6 months straight. I
Right.
sparred with semi-pros. Got beaten up badly at first. Then slowly
He's 4'11". You can punt him. And if you ever see his brothers, guess what? I learned this one trick when I was young. Run away! Run! You can run! Why does he think he have to box? he can just run away, bro. Like, they 300 pounds. If you can't outrun 300 pounders, you deserve to get pounded by a 300 pounder.
Started landing shots and earned their respect. I stored every one of Chester's hits in the back of my mind. I had a college scholarship and couldn't afford to risk losing it, so I waited for the last day of school. I walked up to him and said,
You can lose
"Hey,
your
Chester,
college
have you
scholarship on the last day of school. I had people at my school do a senior prank that lost them their scholarships. Amazing schools too, and they lost it due to a senior prank. You can lose it. You can lose it at any time. In fact, you don't even have to be in school. You can lose it over the summer. So you need to relax.
ever felt a tiger's claw?" He looked confused. Before he could say a word, I threw everything, punches, kicks, elbows, and laid him out on the concrete, unconscious, bleeding out of his smug face. A crowd gathered.